Alrighty. So, what's up, summoners? King Blair here. Today, we're going to be doing a ton of stuff, but to kind of break it down, we're first going to start with some Guild Wars, because it is Monday and we do have to do those. And Guild Wars end this Friday, so we're trying to make sure that we win this time around. We're also going to be doing, on the background, probably some arena or something on the side. Or maybe even the latest story, if we do get to it. I do want to talk about the story, because not going to lie, I got to chapter 8 of the episode 3, and man, it's feeling pretty good. So I'm pretty excited about that. So we'll do all that good stuff, as well as discussing the future updates. I don't know if we are getting the collab or not, but we should be finding out tomorrow if we're going to get an announcement for it. There are some rumors that we may not be getting the collab, but instead we're going to be getting the summer banners. So we will have to see how we're going to be doing this one. So let me message the Discord to let them know that we started. Alright, and let me get the music set up for you guys while I also get the Guild Wars set up. Same thing also with my camera that I know I don't have it on right now. There we go. That's better. Alrighty. So, let me get that here. Alright, and hey, what's up, Yermi? Hey, what's up, Taysif? Yeah, I've been kind of slacking as far as the YouTube stuff goes. I like the streams. I've been doing the videos okay. But the streams, I've definitely been slacking a little bit. I always get carried away at nighttime. I was supposed to stream yesterday, and then I got carried away playing Guilty Gear Strive. And I looked at the time, and it was like already like midnight, and I was like, "Oh man, that's tough." Right? So it's been a good time. But we are gonna start with Guild Wars. Then we're gonna talk about the update discussion. We're gonna be using a couple of stuff that we saw. Some rumors. We're gonna talk about the rumors that people are thinking it's gonna be Madoka. We already kind of talked about it in the past, but just covering everything that I think is gonna be coming and like what we can expect from tomorrow and like my expectations and hopes, right? Because right now we've had we had that massive patch last 2 weeks ago, right? That patch was enormous, right? But we got the patch with the RB that you could pick your own RB. That was a very big patch, but the thing about it is, for the most part, it was mostly for new players aside from the RB. Right, so there wasn't anything that was like super crazy that was in that particular patch. So I'm hoping like new content stuff, right? We haven't had new contents in some time, or updates to like balance changes like that in a while, or new units. Aside from Ilnov, and I know everyone was like super wanting Ilnov to be super OP, but she ended up being just okay, right? She's not a bad unit, she's just alright. Janbin, I really hope it's this week because they said sometime in June. Technically, they do have till next week, though. But they usually don't do the stream next week. But they did say in June, and this is the last week. This is not the last week of June. They technically could do tomorrow, next week. But if they wait till next week to do the collab announcement, man, I'm going to be big sad. So let me put up some music. It's gonna be some good stuff. But yeah, it's been pretty slow Epic 7 wise. Whoa, that is really loud. I apologize if that was really loud for y'all too. Probably wasn't because I cap it. But okay, let me know if y'all can even hear the music. It's been too long. I agree. It has been too long, Nocturne. Alright, let's start with some Guild Wars first. I already did one of them. But I also need a clip from this Guild War. Because I've done it. I've gotten most of the clips, but I need one more clip. For the video today, right? Before I can finish it off. And the clip is I want to try 2 more teams against the super common defense. Also, I'm really proud of our guild, man. Our guild's doing awesome. I still haven't even done my fights, and we're decently ahead. I think the fact that they didn't go for our fortress is gonna make it so we win, which means we're guaranteed top 100. I doubt it's Guilty Gear, although Strife did come out recently. I doubt it's Guilty Gear. But, okay, I need clips from this defense. I don't know why people still lose to this defense. I'm hoping that they left me some of that freeload defense. There we go. This defense, A, I don't know why people still use it. And B, I don't know how people still lose to it. So that's the video for today. Right? So for this one, the video for today that's going to come out tonight, I need the last clip because I already have 3 fights, but I wanted 2 more. Right? To show all the different stuff that you can do. But this defense, everyone still uses it, and to me, it is the freest defense in Guild Wars. It's actually just like money. It's like easy. I see this defense, and I'm like, oh yeah, we're fighting this. This is a free win right there. I don't have to worry. I still don't know if people mess up for this one. Near Automa, I could see that. That's one of the ones. Hey Jeremy, what's up? That's one of the ones I could see them doing. Because that one is getting a lot of hype for some reason right now. Like, there's a lot of stuff and, like, a lot of recent hype around that. Guilty Gear would be cool because Ram Lethal looks really dope. But I know it's not going to be Guilty Gear. They already said it's going to be a new IP, so it's not Guilty Gear. The ones that people are thinking is Madoka Club, Near Automata, and I forgot what the other one that they're like. Oh, and the other one they think it could be VTubers. Right? So, they're saying Near, VTubers, or Madoka. But, again, nothing's been confirmed, right? All we got is speculations, right? Let's get this fight, and kind of a weird first team too, because you can just Seaside that. There's no damage threat to Seaside, and I was doing some friendship farming, which is why I have that category. Yeah, this top defense is a pretty easy Seaside. Like, not gonna lie, I should be able to just slap a Seaside here. I can even slap my Craw and then slap like a healer, like a Ruel, and just win. Because he has... Oh, wait. Yeah, the Craw's fine. With the Craw, it's going to be okay. Because that way we can horse the F-Glory when it comes down to it. And then I can just put any healer here. Ideally, a healer that I can pick when I heal. But we'll just do Ruel, just in case things go really bad. But it shouldn't be, like, that defense looks very easy. And then for this bottom defense, it's just like there's a million ways to kill this bottom defense. I still don't know why people lose to this defense. I'll see my guild lose to it, and I just shake my head in disappointment. I'm like, how, like, unless they're, like, godly geared, I'm just like, how do you lose to this? It's been out for, like, months, and it's still, like, the go-to because it still catches people, right? Like, why change when people are still losing to it, kind of thing. And this is kind of a whale team because I'm using LQC and Gprig and like all these like rare units, but I used to use Ross and Robbie and never had problems with that either. So, hey, don't hate on your girls. Hollow Live would be fun. I wouldn't mind the other one. Fake Cola would be awesome. My wallet would be hurting, but I would definitely try to do a lot of pulling if it was Gilgamesh. Yeah, this one is just like, man, it's free low. That's what the video is about today, how to beat this defense. Because people are losing into it way too much. Like, from my guild and from what I see other people, like when we used to try different defenses, that one has a really good success rate. So this one should just be a little slow. Just because there's going to be a lot of debuffs. But once our Seaside gets rolling, it should go pretty fast. But I really wouldn't mind Hollow Life. Like, to be completely honest with y'all, I don't think it's a bad, like, I think it's fine, you know. Maybe it's not like I watch it or anything, but I just think it's fine. Alright, and then the roll's just gonna eat up all the damage. And yep, she's gonna take a lot of hate too, though. But once Seaside starts rolling, it should go by significantly faster. We already landed a decreased defense, oh yeah. This is gonna go by dummy fast. And I doubt they kill Ruel. Yeah, I don't know why they hate on VTubers. I mean, like, it's not something that I would expect in Epic 7. I don't think it, like, fits super well. But at the same time, it's like, it's not bad. I want to kill this Robbie just because I don't want her S3ing. Is that included today? Yes. The newest chapter, I may not talk about it because I haven't done it yet. But I've done 8, and dude, that was so fun. And I wanted to kind of do it with you guys for the newest chapter if we had time. If it's still not too late after we finish the other talks, we'll do a little bit of the chapter. We'll have a little fun. We'll have a little bit side discussion because we're getting close to the end of chapter or episode 3. We're super close. We're like, honestly, I'll say super close, but it still has like 4 months away because we still have 8S, we still have 9, and we still have 10. That's still 4 more months, right? So there's still 4 months before we get the next episode. So still not in a while, but should be a good time. This is gonna be annoying, but legit, we're just gonna be waiting for our crowd to ramp up and hoping that my Ruel doesn't out heal. I honestly don't mind that the Cerise is not dying yet because I want my Ruel to stay as low as possible. I want her to keep hitting me so the Croc can keep going down and then we can kill if I can get clear. This is gonna take a while, by the way, so I'm gonna be reading the chat a lot because I honestly could auto this, but the reason I'm not is because I want Ruel S3ing my Crow. But we'll slowly get Crow lower and lower and lower HP. And it doesn't even matter if he somehow kills my Seaside, because if he kills Seaside, We just bring her back with Ruel. But it would be nice if we could move. I might have to actually horse the Cerise, now that I think about it. Because she keeps dodging because of the Guiding Light. But there's no way these two solo me, right? Yeah, it's like no way. Yeah, there's no way. It's gonna go on Seaside though. We are gonna lose Seaside right there, but we kill Cerise here and then we're chilling. We just bring her back with Ruel and we're chilling. Alright. Guild Wars, I don't know. They're fun, but like at the same time, it's like sometimes they're kind of slow when you're trying to do it. Like right now, it's the last week, so I actually have to go try hard mode. I can't just play around with my offenses as much. We're just legit gonna wait for Crawl to be horse range. So I think it's a pretty chunky fucking Clury. We're also gonna soul burn the Seaside when we get closer to try to see if we can get the decreased defense. It's gonna, oh man, I just realized it's gonna take a really long time. Because he has a fucking Clury specifically set up to try to stop Crow. Alright, we'll save the cooldowns for when we're lower. Top 50? I think we can get top 50, Hufer. I actually think so. But yeah. As far as we're gonna talk about the updates, I don't like talking about updates at the same time I'm doing something because then I'll get distracted with the fight and then I'll forget what I'm saying for the other one. When is the last day for Guild Wars? It should be this Friday, I believe. But I'm not 100% sure. All right, as long as she doesn't get immunity, she got immunity, so I'm gonna hold on to the S3. Oh man, we're healing the Crow. Okay, I have to start using my skills here. It'll be a balancing act. Hey, what's up, Armando? Nice to see you, man. Glad you could make it for the first time. I hit 2 rounds rolling down for Emo Kawasu. Okay, here's the thing. I think Smilegate was really smart in what they did with Emo Kawasu, although not nice for the players. Because the thing about it is, Ruel is a cool unit, right? But she's been around for a long time. And she also is one of the units that, for long-term players, you could get from the event, right? Not from the event, from the free summon, right? So they put Emo Kawasu, who's actually a decent unit, right? Like Emo Kawasu is actually a really solid unit, but they put him in there. And the thing about it is, he doesn't have a pity. There is no 4-star pity, right? And because there's no 4-star pity, that means that if you want to pull for Emo Kawasu, you're going to be pulling a lot on that banner, right? Which is not necessarily good for you, but it's good for Smilegate, right? Because then you waste your actual pity, and then when a cool unit comes out, then you actually have to spend. So Smilegate was pretty smart in doing that, but for the players, it's not the best. Caleb with the anime. Emil Charles. Yeah, I'm excited for Emil Charles. And yeah, Hufer, I thought it was weird too that they didn't hit Stronghold. And there we go. That's why Craw is so broken for Guild Wars. This is how you beat almost everything. You got me from Silver to Challenger back in COVID days. Hey, that's good to know, man. I was grinding during COVID times, man. That's when I actually really started taking YouTube like more seriously, because I had so much free time and like I was playing a lot of Epic 7 and I was like, you know what? Why don't I share this with people and have fun while doing it? So I'm glad it's helping people. This is actually the one that this is worst case scenario actually that we could get for this team, is that his T-Surin is able to dodge like everything, right? That's like absolute best case scenario for that defense. And even with like the best case scenario, it doesn't matter because T-Surin can't solo a full team of bruisers. That is a very tanky Landy though, I'll give him that. I might save the... there's no point of saving the Basaris too. Like, this guy got double Moonlight Dream Blade, and it still won't matter. Like, we just kill this here. Boom, she's gone. And then we just kill this here, and then it's GG. How do people lose to this defense, man? That was, like, worst case scenario. Like, absolute worst case scenario. We might lose Basar, which would suck, but it's not a damage Landy, so I don't think she'll do enough to kill. Oh, she does do enough to kill. So we do lose Basar, which sucks. But that was an absolute worst case scenario. We still win, and we have another team that I'll also be showing. Oh, that's your guild, Mighty? Hey, good to know. Man, y'all are kind of tough. I'm not gonna lie. How come y'all didn't go for the stronghold, Almighty? I was wondering that, because not going for the stronghold might actually lose you guys the war. And I don't think it was particularly like a scary defense, right? Let me see. Oh, I mean, 2 people did lose to it, so I think we're pretty safe. This is like the worst case scenario. It's like you attack a stronghold and you lose, because you lose so many points from that. But we went for a stronghold kill, and we also got all the fortresses. So our guild's doing pretty good. Oh, you just slammed towers? Yeah. I saw that y'all clapped my defense. My defense is funky. I don't know why the first team does that good, but it's like, it's better than my second team. Like, if I go down and scroll through all my defenses, my first team will actually get defense wins. My second team will not. So, if you see, like, my second team rarely gets... like, it gets it sometimes, but for the most part, it's like... my first defense does good. No, it shouldn't be GG rerun. They mentioned it was a new IP. Let me do my last guild war, and then we'll talk about the updates. But we're doing pretty good. We have some hidden OP towers that people don't like to fight, or like that they int into. Myth is one of them. Although he did lose last time. This guy like gets defenses for towers like crazy. I don't know why. But all right. Let's see. Oh yeah, dude. Which one are you? Mighty Imitation. Are you top, middle, or bottom? I hope you have like the defense I'm looking for. Let me see if I can find your defense. Unless my guild already like clapped it. There's a chance they have it. They already clapped it. Middle? Oh, there you are. No one's attacked you. I like this. I like that you changed from the T-Surin to a Ravi, but the thing about it, this is perfect because I didn't want to show this variant too, and I want to show you guys that Landy. I'm gonna try something new. I haven't tried this. We lost Basar. I normally would just take my Ravi and my Ross and beat this team, right? That's normally what I would do against the Landy style teams, but I want to try something that will either work really well or really, really bad, and that is going to be we are taking our Landy here, or not our Landy, our DN. So this will either go really, really bad or really, really well, right? No in between. I do kind of want the Crow for the bottom one, but it's not that big of a deal. Let's see. Who can we do against this one? I could take... oh, wait. That's easy. We take a light tank. And we take T-Surin. Or not T-Surin. We take a Kali, a CEC, and just have a Kali win the fight. We'll take a Kali out for a spin. This defense is it can be scary, but the thing about it is like with the Ruel defending for the Craw, healing herself from the Rylet, tanking the Rylet, the FCC for double protection, and then they Kali just because she has Symbol of Unity is the reason I want to use her. Alright, so let's see it. Let's see if I can lose the first one. The first one, this will also be good for the video because it's a cool variant, right? But I want to show that you can actually take this particular team into this. Just because you have a lot of buffs doesn't mean you can't take it into this. Like, that's a pretty good amount of damage, right? But now Seaside gets to ramp up. Let's see. Let's see if I can int in here. I'll set up all the buffs because like the Landy's gonna get it regardless after the DN does the first one, so it's better to at least get some protection, right? And since we hit the decreased defense on the Fallen Cecilia, let's just start hitting her too. Alright, and this will soak up a little bit of the damage too from the Landy. Let's see if this actually works. I don't know if it works. Someone told me this still works because they're just like Seaside damage is usually too much for the rest of the team to keep up with, right? That was the idea behind this team. It's like if you hit this once, it's over, right? It's just crawl tactics. Even though it's an Earth unit and it's Landy, it's just Seaside does so much damage with an attack buff that it becomes too much. right? It's just too. It's usually too much. Like, look, even throw a miss, we're still doing really good damage. The rest of the team is basically dead. We get another big S2 here, and then we can just crawl horse the Landy. Like, there are so many ways. Like, Landy SEC, I don't think is good anymore. I really don't. It's just, I feel like it's so easy to beat, right? And if that was T-Surin, even easier, right? So, I don't know. I don't know why this defense is still so popular, to be honest. But it still works, right? It still gets wins. I could scroll down his list, and I guarantee you'll find like a pretty good amount of wins. And by the way, my DN is like absolute garbage DN too. She's actually like a trash tier DN. But yeah, it's like, it just works, right? See? Easy. Nice and easy. And then this team, it's just, we just have to wait for a Kali to ramp up. We have a lot of safety with this team. It's Symbol of Unity, so that's why I went for it. If I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't. Oh, wow, that's cool. That's new. That's actually really cool. I didn't expect it to be on counter set. But now I know. Alright, we might have to work on the craw first. Man, your Rylet is gonna pop off. I already know. I already feel it. We'll actually work on Royale first. There's no reason to go on the Rylet. I did not think it was gonna be a counter set Rylet. But apparently it is. We're just gonna wait for souls and then one shot the Royale later on. My row with the FCC should be able to survive this. But that's cool. I don't see that often, so that can catch people off guard. I mean, it almost caught me off guard. We'll do this early. There's no reason not to. That way we get cooldowns quicker. But we do have to save the Ruel S3 for later. Man, that Ruel's gonna S3 herself. That's annoying. Now we work on the crawl, and then we'll loop back to the rest. As long as he doesn't hit my Ruel with the S3, but I don't think he does if we lower the crawl fast enough. Oh, it's a low FRS crawl though. That makes it a lot less scary. Let's just do the S3 for the extra damage. I honestly should have done the S1 for the speed buff. Yeah, I should have done S1 for the speed buff. He's gonna get to heal here. Can we get a lucky duel? Nope. Oh, it's not low. It's just... Oh, we did outspeed. Okay, there we go. So Cross gone, so no more Aureus. Akali will just get to cycle out. Well, I think she has one turn and then she has S3 again. But we'll wait to pop the Rylet S3 when we have S3. Anything but Persona? Honestly, Persona is all over the place. I don't want Persona either. Let me double check to make sure he doesn't have a revive up. Okay, he doesn't. Well, we'll blow the Royal up next turn. And then we'll get the Rylet with this S3 just for safety. And then we'll blow up the Royal with Akali. I really hope it's not... I don't think it's Persona. The only thing... I doubt it. Is there even like that many characters that they could put from Persona? Like, okay, there's Joker. But who else do they put? Right? I really don't know. Like, the thing about it is, like, I'm trying to think. You have to realize we're probably going to get 3 characters. 1 5-star for free, just like Soul. And then two banner ones, right? Like, that's expected, right? That's what I would expect. But then again, you never know. And we're actually going to heal the Akali. Is there really? I've never played Persona, but I only really know Joker. But then again, I don't play it, right? So maybe there's a million. It'd be cool to see if they added Arsene as a Guardian. I really hope it's not a fighter game like Street Fighter, though. That one is the one that I can guarantee you. I really hope it's not, right? If it's actually a Street Fighter game, I'm gonna be so sad because I don't really like the 2D those 2D fighter kind of things, and we already got Guilty Gear, so it almost gonna feel like, okay, can we not get like an actual one? Free to play unit to counter SSB other than Roana, fucking your Clury. Fucking your Clury is the way I deal with SSB. A dead SSB is a useless SSB, and a provoked SSB is a useless SSB. F Clury is the best free to play option against Seaside. I don't even take Roana against Seaside. I will legit just put Basar, and I'll put F Clury, and that's enough most of the time. But there we go. See? Nice and easy. That was like dummy quick. But that was a cool Riolet though. I like it. I like Mighty Imitation. That was a cool Riolet. But the only thing is, like, that team hard loses to like stealth. Like I could have done Tomoka, fucking your Clury, and probably cleared it faster. Like I could have done fucking your Clury, Tamara Luluka, and then like stand in for the souls, and then just have the fucking your Clury tank for me and just one shot your Riolet. But not bad. I'm really happy with how our guild did this. Our guild did this war. I think if everyone fights, I think they're unreachable. That we might be unreachable. Let me do some quick maths. They already took all our fortresses. That I know. So let's say absolute. Let's not say base scenario. So that's like 1,200 times. They still have 26 attacks. Ooh, they could beat us. If they win every single one of their fights, they could beat us. Yeah. If they win all these 26 fights, they could beat us. I don't think we can get outside of this threshold either. Even if we win these 7, that gives us 840. Yeah, that doesn't get us up to here. So theoretically, right now, War Waifu can win this war pretty easily. If they don't lose, if they don't drop a single game to any of our towers, then they're chilling. But from how the war's gone, I imagine our towers are actually really strong. I would say our towers are stronger than our fortresses. But assuming they don't drop a single game, we're not doing great. If they drop a couple games, then we're chilling. Let me see the other ones. Yeah, we already took all the fortresses. So it's kind of, the ball's kind of in the court. Let me see who in our guild is still going. Because that was one of the last ones. I like to go last just because I can sweep. Oh, he's pretty strong. He should win. He should win his. He's a new member. I should message him to see if he's gonna do his wars. An alpha. Oh, it looks like he disconnected. Feels bad. Yeah, it looks like a DC. Man, that's rough. So, alright. So that's the Guild Wars. So that's part of what we're going to do. The video tonight will be how to beat this defense, because I really do not understand how people still lose to this defense. I just don't know. Like, the FCC Landy just feels so weak to me. And I know most upper level guilds don't use it anymore, because it's actually so like there's so many ways to deal with it that most people don't use it anymore. But I know people in my guild still use it, and look at this. Like, I could scroll down and look how successful it is. Why? There are so many ways to deal with this type of defense. And you can see that he has like an amazing win rate too. So that's why people don't take it off, because it works. It catches people off guard, it gets you wins. And this is all the way up in like top 100, right? So yeah, even Carrot. Just Carrot. Am I more hyped for the collab or Summer Iceria? I want to say the collab over Summer Iceria, because while Summer Iceria looks really cool, and I know she'll be really awesome, and I know we're getting the skins, the collab just has a certain hype to it because we don't know anything. My defense is not great. I'm not going to say my defense is good. Granted, but it's like, it's fun, right? It's a little bit of a fun defense. It's a counter Kairon, and it's just a regular Senya. I think my weakest defense is the second one, and I want to switch it to Kise, right? I think I'm going to switch the 8 tower into Kise once I finish my Kise. And then I'll run the Cerise, Kise, RB. Those are more common, and they're actually a lot stronger. The Cerise, RB, Kise teams, they're a little bit more threatening than a Tywin is, because I look through these and I can see what people bring. And the thing about it though is it always takes a couple of units along with it, right? So if we look, I always take a couple of units along for the ride. Except for this. This guy actually like plays Guild Wars really well. Yeah, some people actually know how to play Guild Wars really well, and then it makes it hard. But yeah, it's nice to always be able to take 1 or 2 units from the opponent, because fortresses are always attacked first. So if I can take 1 unit away, that means that they don't get this unit for later. So against this guy, if someone else had a control defense, he no longer gets Dilibet. So that's nice, right? But it does okay. Not the best, but it is trash against Bazaar. This can lose to Bazaar really easily. Assuming that it doesn't hit Kairon though, then I have a chance to beat the Bazaar defense. And the Senya, I mean, they could, if they go for a cleave, they could mess up on it. Right? So that's the main thing for Bazaar is the Kairon. It makes it a 50-50, hopefully. Kisi needs to be fast. I would say like 270 speed to like be proper. But you can see like they can just tank this first one, which is what a lot of people do. And Sea Dragon, I actually know. He's, oh, hey, Mero, that's kind of cool. That's risky though, because if he didn't get strips, that could have been bad. But then again, it's like all fire for the Senya, and then the FCC will just get deleted. It's Brewster teams kind of beat this pretty easily. It's supposed to be a trap for cleavers. So I am thinking of switching it though. I tried new stuff every once in a while, and then we have like the traditional one, which again it gets wins, although not as often as the other one. But our towers, I still think, are scarier than our fortresses overall. But okay, Guild Wars aside, which is nice that we're doing okay. We'll see if we're able to pull the win. It'd be nice to win this wars, because if we win these wars, we're guaranteed to get top 100, which means that we can chill for the next 2 wars, because we can't make it to top 30, right? So since we can't make it to top 30, we can't do much. But okay, time for future update discussion. What's coming, right? So I'm gonna keep putting this website because I honestly found it and I fell in love with it, and I check it very often now. So let me put it back up, and it's attached in the descriptions of the video of the streams. But there is this thing called E7 leaks, which kind of just reminds you of all the thing that Smilegate promised us was going to be coming in the future, right? And of the schedules that they set for themselves. So this way, whenever you're wondering, when can we expect this? When can we expect that? When can we expect this, right? I get those questions a lot, and honestly, this is a really good way to get that answered, right? So let's look at some of the, this is so nice, right? I like this a lot. And we're actually going to go a little bit more in depth to some other stuff. So first, equipment balance adjustments. So we should be getting this like soon, probably next week, right? Why are we potentially getting this, and what does it mean by that? So if you guys didn't know, right? There's this hunt that they released a while ago that no one really does because the sets don't justify using your energy on, but that is going to be the Katie's hunt, right? And what you get from this, you can get 3 different sets: revenge, injury, and penetration. Right now, penetration is actually a really cool set. I actually think penetration has a potential to be a global set for a lot of people. Injury set and revenge set though, I don't know how they're gonna balance, but these are the 2 sets that they are trying to balance, right? Injury and revenge. I don't know how they're gonna make revenge balance without breaking it, unless they just change a couple of ratios and make it kind of a niche set. And injury set, I don't think there's anything that they can do to make the set good, unless they just ramp it up to 100%, right? So I kind of want to theorize, right? What can we get? Like, how can you balance these sets, right? How can you make them good, not game breaking, right? Because you like speed set will always be king, and it should stay that way, right? But how can you balance these sets, right? And that's a question that I've been asking myself and I'm discussing with other people, right? That's a big one. As far as the question that someone asked, 260 Bazaar is like standard. Most Bazaars are actually quicker. But okay, let me show you guys what the sets do, so we know what everything is. So penetration set, I don't even think I have a single piece of it. Yeah, I don't have a single penetration set. But what penetration set does is it pierces the enemy's defense by a certain amount, right? So that's pretty cool, right? So penetrating the defense by 15% is awesome. This set is actually, or 10%, it's not 15%, 10%. This set they're going to keep the same. I've always thought that this set has a lot of potential, particularly for some booster type units, right? Like Ravi is the one that comes to mind. Challenger Dominial is a big one for this one, because you don't necessarily need that much crit rate on Challenger Domi, right? It's 10%, yeah. Thank you for reminding me of it. But penetration set for CDOM is one of the big ones that I think about. Another one that I really think could be really, really good, cool to put this. I mentioned a Ravi. A Kali, if you can get the stats with a Kali on this, a Sid, who's a really fast unit. Imagine a Sid with 10% pen. That's really solid. Granted, you have to make up that 12% crit from somewhere else, which is why I think it's only going to work for high crit rate units, or if you just get godly penetration sets, right? But for units that have like self crit damage buff, even something like Tomoka, right, to an extent, if you're like a little risky with your Tomoka, you could put penetration set on her. Cess, yeah, there's a lot of units. It's a 2-set. It's a 2-set, but it doesn't stack. So it replaces crit set, but the only downside is you lose that crit set and you don't have access to immunity. So it has to be on fast units or on bruiser units that don't really care if they get debuff. So that's why I mentioned Arabi, because Arabi already has things like Crimson Seed to help her with debuffs, right? So this, I think, has a lot of potential. The only reason we don't see it more is because to make it better than crit set, you need a piece that is absolutely bonkers, right? And to do that, that means you have to legit live in this hunt. And this other set hunts kind of suck, but they're getting reworked, right? So it's a good set, right? Penetration set is good. I think it has a lot of potential, and I hope to see more builds with this set if they do the other 2 sets justice. Right now, it just doesn't justify it. Why use this over a critical hit set? Because the damage increase, when you look at, someone did the calculation stat-wise, and you're realistically only getting 500 extra damage, assuming all stats are the same. So, okay, so that's that for that one. Then it's Revenge Set, right? Revenge Set essentially gives you speed, just base, 10%, and then for every health loss, you get 0.5. The problem with Revenge Set right now, and with a lot of sets that work this way, is for Revenge Set to be better than Speed Set, because it's directly competing with it. And hey, what's up, Harambe? Nice to see you here. But BBK works really well with this. But this, essentially, to make use of it, it means that your units have to be low, right? So it inherently is weaker than speed unless you're below a certain threshold. You're also giving up turn 1 advantage, which right now, turn 1 advantage is pretty big, right? Right now, I think this meta more than ever, speed is actually pretty important, right? You need speed contesters, and giving up your speed for speed later down the line, it's not always a good idea. What I think right now, what this set becomes the same as speed set when you've lost, so it's 0.5, so it's 1% every 2%, and you need 15% to be, or speed is 15%, 25, right? Speed, I believe it's like, it gives you 25%. Yeah, speed is 25%. So for this set to even be worth and be better than a speed set, and it's conditional, right? They can just one-shot your unit. For this set to be better, you have to be at around 70% or lower health. At 70% or lower, this set becomes better than speed set. But that means that you're relying on your opponent to A, hit you, B, not kill you, and C, makes a turn 1 doesn't matter that much. Right? So that part really sucks. And it's just, there's too much what if. That the only realistic unit right now that can use it is honestly just Crow. Because Crow is often below that threshold, and he doesn't always have to take turn 1, although that early defense buff is really nice, right? So this set right now, it just takes way too long to ramp up, and there's too many conditionals for it to be quote-unquote better than speed, and you have to farm a hunt that, as someone mentioned in the chat, takes a very long time to farm this, and then the other set is useless when you can just be farming Wyvern, where you can use this for 99% of your units, right? So how would I see them balancing this, and the potential balance update that's going to come is they could either go the route that they could increase the threshold, so make this be 1% for every percent loss, or they could set this to be starting at 15%, or even 20%. 20 might be too much, but 15%, to make it so it's equivalent to a speed set by the time you're at 80%. And even then, I still don't think it fixes the problem. The other route that they can go, instead of just playing with numbers, is give it an extra effect, right? That instead of ramping up the lower your health is, maybe do the ramp up whenever you get hit, right? Because it's revenge, right? You're taking revenge, and I think that could open up more cool things with bruisers, right? And I would really like to see that. Maybe like increase the number a little bit, and then make it 2% every time you get hit up to a certain cap, right? I think that could be really cool, right? Because that way, it's like, it makes more sense for a quote-unquote revenge set that every time you get hit, you get faster. So that way, it'd be cool, right? It'd be cool. I don't think ramp up damage would be cool too, like if they added a ramp up damage effect. What I would like to see from the set is make it something that is kind of like lifesteal and it's kind of like counter, where it's good and it's really good for certain units, right? But giving extra attack would be really cool as well. So that would also be really, really cool if they gave it extra attack, like speed and like health and attack goes up with your lower percentage. That would also be really cool because then it makes it, again, it makes it viable for those like low health bruisers like BBK that love to be in that low range, right? And I could even see it for something like Dark Corvus, right? Because then Dark Corvus could heal quicker, right? So I think they need to give it an identity, because right now counter set is a really good identity. Lifesteal has a really good identity. But Revenge doesn't have a good identity. It literally doesn't really have a place, but I want it to be for those bruisers that have built-in healing. That would be really cool for all bruisers that have built-in healing to use Revenge set, since bruisers typically don't take turn 1 regardless, to have something that gives them speed, maybe also attack, or also maybe like ramp up with the game, right? Because that's what bruisers typically do, they ramp up. And yeah, Wolverine, I do think they might introduce new debuffs and buffs with the new units, because they're kind of, there's like some of the units that they've released are very similar to other units. Like they've started kind of like mixing some of the kits together, and that kind of shows, right? Like Emil Cowrick just looks like a hodgepodge of a bunch of different units, and then even something like Ilnoth, which is basically Charles in a way. She's just Fire Charles, right? They all feel very similar, but usually all collab units are super unique. So I do expect something new to be coming out, right? But then again, Landy was also super unique in the fact that she ramped up with buffs in a really cool way, right? So that was really cool. But okay, as far as the other set, injury set, I really don't see how you ever can balance this set. Why do I say that? It's so slow. After attacking, decrease the target's max health up to 5%, right? And it's 5% and it's multiplicative, right? Which means it's very slow. By the time this starts ramping up, you already probably lost, or it was better off if you just put something like a crit damage set at that point, right? And the only units that can really use this are units that can self-counter like Seaside. But are you really going to put this on your Seaside over something like Lifesteal that's going to let your Seaside last longer? And injury it just takes so long to ramp up. And then just Barrier just stops it. Fallen Cecilia just stops it. And hey, what's up, Ferris? Hey, glad to see that the guides are helping. I am trying to do a couple more guides for people. But there's already a dual attack increase thing, right? So that already exists. But this is just like, how do you make this good? Let's say they bump this up to 15%, right? Something ridiculous, right? Even then, are you really going to give up something like Speed Set, like your turn 1? Are you really going to give up something like Lifesteal, right? And then if it ever becomes a problem, then the barriers will just become really, really cool, right? And yeah, it's up to 5%, exactly. This injury set, I don't know how they can make it good. A start would be to make injury go through barrier. That would be cool. If injury could go through barrier, that would be cool. Make it ramp up or something. I don't know. Injury right now is so weak. It's just not, the meta's not slow enough. In RTA, in Arena, right now we're in a really fast-paced meta. Games are over before like Frenzy 3. Games are over by like turn 1, right? For almost everything, right? So injury set right now, it's like, it gets countered super hard and it takes way too long to set up. Even if this ratio was like 100% of the damage, unless it was like, okay, if it was 100% of the damage that you do gets converted, then it kind of maybe be busted, because that's a lot of damage to keep up with. But unless they do something ridiculous to that extent, it just takes way too long. And honestly, why is it even a 4 set? It's competing with something like Speed Set, which is just like, to me, that's just ridiculous. How, like, this is competing with Speed Set, it's competing with Counter Set, it's competing with Lifesteal, it's competing with just off crit sets, right? 2 off crit sets gives me 24% crit immediately, which gives me like, that's going to what, 7 rolls in a gear, and this essentially gives me nothing, right? So I really do hope, I don't know how they're gonna do, but for this set to not be absolutely useless, they would have to do something ridiculous, right? And I think the only other set that I would say is useless, it's something like Defense Set, right? That's it. Out of all the sets, I think the most useless right now is honestly the injury set. All the other sets are actually not bad. They're actually pretty balanced, right? For the most part, they all have their uses. Attack set is a little but it's like the free to play kind of go to. So it has its job. Not all sets have to be OP, right? But the fact that some units' optimal strategy should be to use that set, and there's no unit whose optimal strategy is to use injury. But all the other sets, there are units that would heavily benefit from all the other sets, right? Attack set's not great, yeah. But not it's kind of like an introductory. And the thing about it is, even attack set, there's units that still can use it, right? Things like Senya, Holiday Yuffie can use it potentially, right? Gunther, right? Like there's still a couple of units that can use it, but there's no, and that it's actually the better set for the most part is attack set. Whereas something like injury set, it just never ramps up fast enough. Unity's not great, yeah, but at least Unity, it's a good PvE set. I actually use this set on some PvE units because it makes them run faster. So it's like, it's not even useless. Unity's not even useless. That's the thing. Right now, the worst set by far is injury set. It actually absolutely does nothing. No PvE and no PvP because it's just, it's going to take way too long to ramp up. And barriers just stop it. Right? So set-wise, I don't know what they're going to do. But there is that, right? So that is what we're getting. It says by Q2. And if you guys didn't know, Q2 ends here. We're officially in Q3 here, right? So, I mean, Smilegate has pushed things back. It was a tentative roadmap, which is why it says maybe. So maybe they'll take them longer to balance the set. But in the showcase of where we're gonna see different stuff, this is what they said we were gonna be getting by Q2, right? And we're about to finish Q2. So they might push it back. I mean, that's fine. Company deadlines always shift. That's not, I wouldn't hold it against them. That's not something that I'm like, oh yes, I want this equipment changed now. And you like the thumbnail? I don't know if that's Sky, if that's ironic, or if you actually like the thumbnail. Because people always make fun of me for my thumbnails. I've accepted it though. Raid Shadow Legends? I don't know about that one. And no, injury is 4. Yeah. So I don't know what they can do. I don't know. Abyss set would be cool. But it would be so toxic too. I can just imagine all the stuff they could do. Is Dagger always the best choice for Hell Raid? No, I usually get the chest sometimes too. I get the chest and I get the sword for I can't say that word. Hard Raid. But okay, next one, new collab kickoff. Alright. Big brain hats on, tinfoil hats on, right? So I saw this post on Reddit and it could be nothing. But you know, I'm trying to show you guys all the stuff that could be happening, right? So this is something that could be happening. But recently, one of the Epic 7 pages posted a happy summer announcement showing the units for the summer, right? Showing like a lot of the summer units. And it is currently summer, right? So what I'm thinking may happen is they have the art for Iseria and all this stuff. And I could see them pushing back the announcement for the collab and putting it to be much later, right? And let me see if I can find it. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find it. And yes, I usually read a bunch of Reddit stuff because I always see some crazy stuff in there that I'm just like, what am I reading? Right? We should do a Reddit hot take stream one of these days because there are so many weird things that people say on Reddit and have such weird takes. So I can't find it, but they showed a happy summer one, right? Let me see if I can find it. I think it was their Instagram page. Let me log on to the Instagram and see if I think it was their Instagram that posted it. And yeah, I get it. You know, Instagram's not necessarily like a big thing. So let me see if I can find it here. But it was kind of like, really, Smoggy? Like, y'all really gonna put this out there right now? Okay, so it wasn't there. It wasn't here. Where was it? I remember like, it was an official picture. I wonder if they took it down. They actually might have taken it down, man. Was it on the Facebook page? Wait. No, I know I saw it. I'm still wondering where it is. I know someone posted it on Reddit, but I just can't find it right now. Let me see if it was their Facebook one. Okay, it wasn't their Facebook. I don't know where they put it, but they put a happy summer one. So people are thinking, and oh, read the chat. Stove page. Oh, it's on the stove page. Thank you. Yeah, I don't have both chats open up. So let me open that. That is very wow. Come on, Smoggy. What are y'all doing? Okay, let's open this. thank you guys for pointing me in the right direction. All right, it's in the notice. Let me see. That's crazy. I cannot believe they actually put it on the stove page. That's like we're all okay. I'm not gonna lie. Stove page is actually so toxic. Every time I read this, if you read the stove page, you would think this game is dead. But all right, this is weird, right? Because they put it in the announcements, and they just post this, right? Seaside Holiday Euphean and the Summer Cess and Rima, and it just makes you think we're not getting collab news, are we? Yeah, honestly, I could see that. I could see that. But it's just like, why would they do this, right? It doesn't make sense to put it in the announcement tab. Like, I get, okay, they could be nice and they could be like, you know, it's summer, right? It officially was summer, I think yesterday or like 2 days ago. So like, it is summer, and it does say that summer is legit, like, it's actually the start of summer a couple of days ago. I think the summer solstice was a couple of days ago. So like, or like yesterday. So, I mean, it could be that, it could be nothing, right? But I really think there's a really good chance that tomorrow we are not going to be getting any. Yeah, it's today. Yeah, today's actual day of summer. But it's just like, I get that they're probably trying to be nice. And I want to give Smogit the benefit of the doubt. That, you know, maybe they're doing this to get us mad and get us talking, and then tomorrow they exceed our expectations, right? But at the same time, this could legit be that they are going to give us Iseria and the summer units before they give us the collab. Because it could, and the thing about it is why I think that's very possible is during the World Tournament, the fact that they didn't want to reveal the collab and who they were and said the other company didn't want to say it, that's really weird to me, right? And stream is tomorrow. Tomorrow night. Yeah. So my guess is they will either push back the collab, which like it's very possible because you have to remember there's like a lot of like, what if it's a new game that's getting released for something or a new anime, and what if the anime is getting delayed and now the anime told Smilegate don't release the characters yet because that wouldn't make sense for our campaign, right? And there could be a legal battle, right? We don't know that, right? We don't know that. Like, businesses can be weird sometimes, right? So that makes me feel like the collab, the IP is either really, really big and it's gotta be super hype, and that's why it's so hard and so strict, like the terms and agreements that they came down with. And like, but I'm worried that potentially could fall through, right? It could be reincarnated as a slime collab because that is coming pretty soon too. But my guess is if there's something legal happening, or if there's something that they can't release it yet because they're waiting for something, I could really see them pushing this forward, right? And honestly, I personally would prefer this than the collab first. And hear me out, before you pull out your pitchforks. Why would I want the summer event first? Well, the big reason is everyone's already saving for Seaside. That's a unit that all new players need to get. Seaside is busted, right? Everyone has to get Seaside. New players or people are super hyped for Iseria. There's a lot of hype around Iseria, right? So people would be happy. And the other thing is, for me personally, since I'm only playing for the Iseria, I could save more bookmarks from when the collab comes, right? So that would be really cool, right? I wouldn't mind that. I know people would get really upset because we've been waiting for the collab a long time, but I think the collab has like, the hype's died down a lot, right? Like I'm not gonna lie to you, the collab has died down a lot, right? Like the hype was like at its peak right before the Epic 7 World Cup, and then the Epic 7 World Cup, it was like a nosedive. It legit went from like peak hype to instant like disappointment and within like a weekend, right? So the hype's already pretty much dead. So I think the Iseria hype is a lot higher right now, so I wouldn't mind if Iseria came first. That's all I'm trying to say with this. So I could see it. I wouldn't mind too much. I know people are super upset about it, but I think, I mean, if it's better for them as a company, it makes sense. You know, businesses can be weird sometimes. You have to remember it's not them alone. If it was them, they would have already released it, right? So the hype is just super dead, and they're more about Iseria. But yeah, exactly. I really do think there could be something behind the scenes that's happening between like table talks that we don't know about and they can't tell us anything about. So I want to give them the benefit of the doubt, so I won't mind if we get Iceria early. So I don't know. I wouldn't be disappointed, but just know that hey, Summer Iceria may be coming sooner rather than later. Also, just a pro tip to all the new players: if you're watching this stream, don't read these comments because like. There is just so much toxicity in the stove page. I don't know why. It's like a pool of just salt. Like, it's just like pure salt in here. It's just, and like there's so many bad takes in here. It's just like, come on, man. Like, there's literally death threats to the company because they didn't release a certain unit. And it's just like, what you doing here? So, I don't know, man. Some of them are not bad, right? Some of them are okay. But I would not get my advice from here either. There's so many other ways to get advice. And there are times where also on Reddit, I see people giving advice. And I'm just like... I think the craziest thing I saw on Reddit today was someone said, Control is broken right now. And I was like, Control is not broken. Karen and F10 are broken, but Control is trash. So... Man... I make a tier list? I did make one, Jonathan. I made it for the last stream, actually. But, man. White Knights also do suck. I will say that. I just want them to announce a date for the company not to do that. Angers me a lot. Yeah, I could see. Okay, see, that's a valid complaint, Javi. If you're like, I don't like this uncertainty. They told us end of June, and they can't even hold that. We've been waiting for so long. I'd rather not have known about the collab, right? And I agree with that. I'd rather not have known about the collab, right? But I do have a tier list. Let me show you guys the one I made. I made this one like last stream, and I need to post it on the community tab because the one my video is already outdated because Carrot absolutely broke it the next week. But this is a tier list I made for RTA. It's legit. This unit legit warped the meta completely and pushed everyone down. If you want to know what happened between tier lists, is this unit rose to the top as well as this unit and pushed everyone else down with it. Right? So we have a very top-heavy tier list. I already talked about this last time, but... And there are people that think Carrot is bad. And it just like, it boggles my mind. I can tell you right now, and I'm probably going to make a video about this. If you're someone that's heart stuck in like bronze or silver, legit just pick Carrot because people underestimate this unit so much. Pick Carrot. It counters cleave, right? You'll have to find answers to cleave. That's the biggest thing in low bracket is you need answers to cleave. And Carrot does lose to cleave, right? She does lose to cleave. That's cool. Emma Kawasu, I could see being somewhere up here. I really could see Emma Kawasu being somewhere in this region. He's pretty good. I actually think he's cool. But this unit is just... It legit warped the meta to where like certain units that were normally strong are just not right now. Like there are units that were normally like dummy busted. But they're just not dummy busted anymore because Carrot exists, right? One of them is like Robbie's fallen off a lot. Lilia's has just gone pretty much. Last Rider Crawl honestly could almost drop down. I don't see him that nearly as often. He's like over here. A Talon got super pushed down. It's crazy. But this is the tier list that I made. I haven't had anyone check it. It's completely based on my opinion. So if there's something that you think may be off, it's probably because I didn't check it with anyone else. But yeah, we got Axe got a meme tier because it's so sad what they did to him. No, there's Robbie. Robbie's here too. And Polides would go right here too. Polides is actually really good too. Polides is not here. Polides would go right here or right here, depending if you play Cleaver or not. If you're a Cleaver, Polides would go here. If they're strong, they would go right here. Right? So. And also, F10 and not S tier. Where's F10 in? No, I don't think she's high priority. She's close. She could almost be up here. She could be up here. I know Hours, you're in Legends, so you probably know better. And I do see a lot of F10 in, which is why she's up. She's definitely meta. I just don't see her as a high priority unit. Because it's usually if you're playing F10, you're usually playing Fallen Cecilia as well. But Polides is amazing unit. Polides is nuts right now. So, yeah, this is completely based on my opinion. I have not checked it with anyone else. Usually I do check it with the Discord because the Discord usually is like, Blair, this is higher, this is lower. This shouldn't be go there, this shouldn't go there. Like, for example, someone mentioned, I had a Robbie here, which I really think she sucks. But someone was like, okay, at least put her in niche because Charles is not better than a Robbie. And I was like, you know what? Fair point, right? So I still haven't moved to, like, gotten feedback. So this is completely my opinion. But Carrot is busted. And this is coming from, like, I don't know, man. I think you can climb so easy with this unit. If you have Craw too, that's free Masters. Like, legit just spam those 2 units and just get to Masters free low. Because no one knows how to deal with Carrot. Just hope that they don't ban her. Right? So... Sanya, if you're stuck with Strasse, it's not too bad. Honestly, just grind some Wyvern and you'll be able to clear it. It's just a gear check. Smoggy, near the end of Season 2, they started putting gear checks. I'm pretty sure it's just to force players to stop doing Adventure and to go do something else. But later on, like, like all bosses in Epic 7 are really hard for early game players. Like, for Adventure. But, like, for late game players, like, most bosses, like, in pretty much auto. So... Carrot video part 2. Nah, dude, I hate Carrot. But she's gonna be in a couple of videos that are coming. Arby, oh yeah, also Arby. Just Carrot Arby and just go to boop, go to the very top. But yeah, I don't know what. This is super sidetracked. We're supposed to be talking about everything. Is it worth if I want Masters if I already have Stennet build? Ferris, I can tell you Carrot is the best unit and she does not use any Molagora. There is no reason for you not to build her unless you're trying to do other content, right? If you're an early game player and you haven't done your PvE, I suggest you focus more on PvE, unless you have Ruel and you love Ruel. But if you don't have Ruel, you don't necessarily need to be Master, or if you don't even like Ruel, you don't really need her skin. But there's no reason that you shouldn't build a Carrot, because this unit's broken, and it doesn't take any Molagora. Super easy to get to, right? But yeah, it's legit. Just build Carrot, build Craw and Arby, and then you're set. Just like climb to the top. Just free low. Free low all the way to the top. Yeah, cleave. Okay, just have a cleave counter, right? There's a lot of cleave ways to counter cleave. But there's sometimes you're going to get outgeared. And if you get outgeared, people get tilted when they get outgeared by cleave because they're lower down. And a lot of people that are trying to climb fast will cleave and have really good gear. But what I suggest, if you lose to an outgear, don't get upset. You are allowed to have a 30%, 35% win rate. It's okay to get outgeared, right? One other team ban her if you pick her. If they're doing that, that means you have complete control of the draft bin. If you pick Carrot and they either have to choose, I am banning your Carrot, or they have to overcommit to countering her. If they overcommit to countering Carrot, RB wrecks the team, or Landy, right? That's why Landy Carrot is so good. So if they overcommit to countering Carrot, your RB will win the game. If they overcommit to countering Carrot, your Crawl should be able to win the game. If they cleave you, they have to hope that they have enough damage to kill your Carrot or they lose. If they don't ban your Karen, you automatically win unless they have a ton of counters against her, which means that, go back to point B, Arbiter Villager just kills them. She legit only has one true counter, and it's Kise. Crawl does okay against her, but Kise is the only true counter that you really have to watch out for that will actually dumpster Carrots. But even then, you have a 15% chance to just automatically win. Yeah, Pupper, exactly. You're exactly. KSNs, I don't think it's worth it. I'd rather have Roll be tanky and have other stuff. Which better for RTA, Speed Crawl or Lifesteal? Spam Musubi, I have never heard of Lifesteal Crawl being that good. I would say Speed 10 out of 10. He's already a hard to build unit. There's no reason you should make it harder on yourself for minimal rewards. That's more of a late game strat when you have a ton of geared, right? So, Catalyst? Yeah, Catalyst suck. If you have Crawl, Ferris, Crawl, Carrot, Maid, these 3 units, you can pick these 3 units and then have flex pick of either picking Arby if you want to take it away from your opponent, Landy for a subkin DPS, and then any other support, and you have like the best draft in the game right now. These 3 make up the most toxic draft that you can possibly make right now because it covers all your bases. Carrot kills all tank teams. Maid kills all tank teams and does okay against certain cleaves. Crawl does amazing against cleaves, kills tank teams, kills bruiser teams, counters most of Carrot's counters. And you just basically cover all your matchup with these 3. She counters control, right? So with these 3 units, you have counters to almost every single playstyle in the game. And you still have 2 picks that you're able to answer the opponent. It's stupid. It's so stupid. This draft is actually like big toxic. This is why Carrot gets permaban in higher up. Higher up, it's either permaban or ban. It's literally pick or ban. These 2 are not quite there yet though. They're just high priority. They're not quite there yet because people still cleave. But right now, Carrot is legit just warping the meta around her. Because it's legit just like, oh, you're countering Carrot? Okay. Like, it forces bans. It just gives you complete control of the draft. So, up E6 is a good counter too. But that means for Operator Sigrid, you have to have someone going before your Operator Sigrid. Which means that if you're trying to kill Carrot with Operator Sigrid, you not only need for her to go, you also need someone to go first, hit them and proc the barrier, and then you need attack buff, because without attack buff, you're not killing Carrot. So, there's that. Champsy does do pretty good against her, but even then, it's not a hard counter. You know why Champsy's not a hard counter? You know what Carrot can do? She's a mage. She holds book, soul burn, hit your Champsy. Your whole team should be on immunity with Carrot, because everyone on your team should have immunity or higher IFRS. The Champsy is not going to land the burns back. You S1 the Champsy, and the Champsy is dead turn 1. It's not a hard counter. Does he do good? Yes. Hard counter is only Kise. Hard counter, I'm talking like you're winning like majority of your matches you're playing. Like 80% of your matches you pick this unit. Right? And Kise is the only one that falls in the category. Crawl, Champsy, they're all soft counters to Carrot. And they're very easy to counter pick. Right? You pick Champsy against Carrot, they have access to LQC. Right? If it's higher up. So it's all these nuance stuff, right? Which is like, it just drives everything a certain way. Emmy, VG, yes, Briar Witch is really good. She's like one of the better units to have. And like, she's just amazing. But yeah. Katie's Hunt Guide. Wait, is Popper a YouTuber that I just don't know about? Ray does okay, but the thing about it is like Carrot can just one-shot a unit, turn 1. Just burn. Soul burn, S3, pop their DPS, win the fight. Win the game. GG. No, you're fine. No, Ferris, you're fine. If you ever need other help, also the Discord. We have a Discord linked in the description. Go to the help channel in the Discord and you can ask there, or you can message me and I'll try to get to it as well when I can. So it's a lot of stuff. But yes, Jeeprig into Operator Sigurd is a combo I've heard about, but you need to have a specific team for that. It's really good. But Maid, Carrot, Crawl, all really, really good. This is not what we were talking about. So let's go back to what we actually were talking about, which was the updates. I do not know how we got here, but we somehow got here. So it was right here. We're talking about the leaks. So collab, we kind of kicked that bucket. We already talked about what the collab, how I feel about it. The hype's just really died down a lot. And then the new specialty change, it's late, right? And a lot of people noticed that last time. They're pretty late with this specialty change. So if they don't release it this next coming week, man, they're really behind on the specialty changes. I wonder if because they did the buffs to Carrot and to Axe God, buff to Axe God. It was a nerf more than a buff from the people that actually use them say. But we should be getting a specialty change, right? And if you want to know who's very likely candidates, I don't know if you guys noticed, but they usually go in a pattern for the specialty changes where they will rotate the elements out, right? And the last one we had was Rima, right? And before that was, so we had, which was the Earth one? Let's see, they did Earth already. Which one was it? Fucking Clear was way in the past. I think it was Dollmaker per Horizon. Then it was Doris, I believe. Then it was, I think they skipped the Dark. Then they went from Dollmaker to Magic School Doris. Then they went to Stella Cameros. Then they went to Muse Rima. So it's most likely going to be a light or dark unit. Right? Could also be Earth. Right? Could theoretically also be Earth, but most likely it's going to be a light or dark. Right? So the most likely candidates to actually get it are going to be one of the Banshee sisters. Because they've been rotating the Banshee sisters. Every other one is a Banshee sister. Right? And they still have a lot of them to go. And one of them I could really see them doing would actually be Gloomy Rain. Right? I think Gloomy Rain is a really good option. Because we only really have, like, there's a lot of, like, with Burn, right? There's a lot of Burn type units. And there's a lot of debuff units like F10. And Gloomy Rain kind of claps those type of units, right? And it'd be something for free-to-play players to deal with control, because there's no real control counter that is free-to-play that's good, like really good, right? Most of them are 5 stars or 4 stars. I think the only exception to that would be like Acades, right? Acades is amazing. And she's probably the most free-to-play hero for anti-control, right? But it's always not enough. Sometimes the KD's not enough because you can get cleaved, right? Control cleave is a thing. So this would be a really cool option instead of Champ C. And she's legit. The other thing that's really cool is she has a speed imprint, which we don't have a lot of. So the speed imprint would be really cool for cleavers. The S2 gives you increased speed and attack when you're debuffed. And you're immune to anything that can stop you from taking your turn. So burn, she's immune to. And then the S3 is an AoE attack that transfers the debuffs and dispels debuffs from the counters. Can you imagine? Carrot Ghost on you, and you use this skill, and you give the burns back to everyone on the enemy team. Or if F10 uses that, you put back unable to be buffed, right? So this has really good chance of, like, imagine this enhance could be really OP. Can you imagine this, like, strips, right? If this stripped and you transfer over debuffs, you just transfer over all those burns. That'd be disgusting. Granted, Kara can just soul burn you, which is the same problem Champ C has. But I still think it's really cool, and it'd be a really cool. I don't know why control needs more counters, but it's something I could see happening, right? She's not immune to a deck provoke. Okay, that would get updated. I imagine this will get updated, right? I imagine this will get updated. I imagine they got too lazy and didn't want to. They didn't want to update this. I didn't know. Okay, that's a good point. Redirect provoke is a different debuff. I'm pretty sure if they gave her an SC, she would become immune to that as well. I don't think they would keep that interaction without making her immune. That'd probably be added to her skill tree, right? So that could be cool, right? Because she already has a good base kit. The other Banshee sister would be Requiem, who is kind of a weird one, right? The S1 is already kind of meh. The S2 is actually pretty cool, right? Because she has self-healing. Whenever an enemy dies, you get a massive AoE, and you get big combat readiness boost for the caster, right? So that's really cool, right? That could be cool for Cleave, right? Because if you kill someone, she gets CR push, and you also get to heal. And then the S3 is also kind of a setup where this is a single target damage skill that has a 100% chance to decrease defense and increase your combat readiness by 20%, right? So I could see the skill stripping. I could see the skill giving attack buff, giving crit damage buff, pushing an ally up. Like, there's a lot of things they could do to the skill to make it really good for Cleave. And she has, like, it could be a cool opener, right? Single target damage opener. We don't have a lot of those, actually. So it could be cool. That one could be a really cool one, right? I wish they pumped out specialty changes a little bit faster, too. Recommended wave speed is kind of trash, but I'm sure it's not bad, right? It's not terrible for a 3-star. It's not bad. And the skill tree would probably give her like 5 speed. That's like standard. It could even go up to 10 speed. So she could be a 116 opener if it gets her 10 speed. Right? So she's another likely one to get it. And she also has a decent base kit. So she could be decent, right? She wouldn't be like trash. And then the other one that I could really see them doing, right? And one of the reasons they may be stalling could be not a 3-star. Even though she's fire. It could be Mercedes, right? They mentioned in the update stream that they wanted to give Mercedes a specialty change. But I think they'll wait for this one. I don't think this will be the next one, like this coming one, but I think it will be the one after that. Why do I think that? Because that's really close to the anniversary. It's also really close to the end of Season 3. And if you guys didn't know, in Season 3 or Episode 3 of the story, they hinted at Mercedes potentially getting a power-up. So they might do something like they did with Ross. Right? They said they're going to give it to her. Right? They said they would gift this to her. Right? They already said they're going to give her an SC this year. And I could see them doing the same thing they did with Ross, but for Mercedes. Because in the story, when they're fighting more notes that Mercedes is just a massive chasm for power. And they're also hinting about there being a lot of celestial and goddess energy still in Britannia, right? That's like that sanctuary, right? That's more for episode 8. So I could really see them doing like that thing where like at the end of episode 3, you do some quest and she gets a power up, right? You could easily see that happening, right? So it is very likely that she will get a power up by the end of season 3. And that would be 2 months out. So I could see there being an SC. And that would perfectly line up with the end of season 3. Or episode 3. Right? So at the end of episode 3. That's most likely going to happen because it lines up with the schedule. That's every 8 weeks. That's 2 months. That's 2 months to release episode 9 and to release episode 10. So they could release another one right now and then put her near the anniversary, put her at the end of episode 3, and just have a massive thing with Mercedes, right? So that's my guess. Who's gonna be that? I don't think the next one, but she's definitely probably gonna come within the next 2 months, of course. So that's likely, but that's my guesses. Some cool ones if they don't decide to go with the Banshee sisters that I think would be unique. That would be fun if they included. I think a really good one that a lot of people wanted was Pillis. She actually has a pretty good base kit. Just talking darks, right? Pillis could really well be the next dark one. Why do I think that? She actually has a decent kit, right? She has a Provokiness 1, very standard for a knight. This would probably go to 100%, right? Super standard, she got the SE. This one, when she's hit, she gets defense buff. And every 4th increases of all allies by 2 turns, right? Wait, I don't get why it can stack up to 3 times. That's weird. I don't get... Oh. Oh, this is my first time reading her skills, like, deeply. She just gets a raw defense buff. She doesn't get the buff. She just gets, like, raw defense. Huh. That could be cool, but really annoying, right? Give her scaling. It's already scaling with defense. Make this skill be, like more annoying. Like, greater defense. Can you imagine greater defense? Watch her get greater defense. That'd be crazy. Like, she'll be the first character to give greater defense. Or something ridiculous like that. Her imprint's like defense. Yeah, she's a full defense knight. And then her S3 is a big barrier that provokes and gives defense. Can you imagine if she's the best greater defense? I could see it happening. I could see it happening. I could see it happening. Or I could see this, like the basic one that they always seem to like to do is give it a strip, right? That's what they always like to do. I could also see this being kind of cool if, like, when you did the S3, maybe you also got immunity buff. That would also be kind of broken. Like, you got immunity and barrier. She's just kind of like ML. She would be like ML Cowrick, except she doesn't cleanse. But I don't know. It could be unique. It could be unique. She could be really good, right? If she gets an SC, she could be ridiculous. The other one would be the light counterpart, who kind of plays like her, who is going to be... Where is she? I think we passed her. Arrowell, right? That's the one I'm looking for. I really hope it's Arrowell because I already have her fully built. So I'll be right there, ready to 6-star her and everything. She's like max catalyst and everything. I'm chilling with her. I think I almost have her like Molagor'd out too. Can I just not see Arrow? Am I just blind? I would assume she was next to Doris. But they did her dirty. Oh, she's right. She was right next to Pillis. So Arrowell's the other one I could see if they do decide to go with light. This skill's actually really good. It dispels 2 debuffs, right? And it has a pretty high chance of actually happening. Oh, 2 buffs, not debuffs. This is essentially a Fallen Cecilia passive, which is like kind of lame, but like it's a pretty good passive. And then this one is a stun for 1 turn that also gives her CR push, right? Coverness reduction effect and Norse effect resistance. Yeah, and she CR pushes them back guaranteed. So watch them give him an unresistible stun. That's just crazy. But they actually have PvP viability. They actually gave him SEs. And then of course the one that I don't think will ever get one because she would absolutely be broken. If this unit gets an SE, we're doomed. We're actually doomed if this unit gets an SE. But Mursa, she could get it. She could get it. And it would absolutely break the game because this unit's already a good unit. Can you imagine SC Mursa? Oh man, that would be ridiculous. I don't want to even think about it. I don't even want to think about this. It's just thinking about it, it just makes me like shake my head and just like wonder how the meta would be. Can you imagine they gave her like 100% evasion? I could see that. Like, I'm not gonna lie, that's something that Smilegate would do. Like, that's something right around Smilegate's alley where they're gonna give her 100% evasion when she gets the SE. And they're gonna make this skill like ignore defense. She's gonna be a better Rylet. She'll just be a better Rylet. She'll have 100% evasion. This skill will penetrate defense if it's a dark hero, right? That I could see them doing that. Oh man, I don't know why I could see Smaga doing that and just breaking the game just because they want to. Just give her like penetration against dark units on this S3. Give her like 100% evasion against dark units or something like that, and then make the S1 like, I don't know, 100% decrease defense. 100% evasion would just mean she can't be hit. Yes, Essence, you're right. That means it would always be a miss. But then they'll be like, oh, but you can just use crawl. She'd be broken. She would absolutely be broken. She'd be like the most broken unit in this game. But that's true. Okay, but you say that, Matthew. You say that. But then how do you explain Carrot? Right? Because it's like, before I was, oh, Smoggy would never buff a free-to-play unit, right? They would never make it better than any other unit. Well, they buffed Carrot to a point she's the best unit in the game for RTA. So it's not it is not, I would not put it past Smoggy. She legit is just absolutely bonkers, right? That's why I used to agree. Matthew, I was with you. I would have agreed in the past. But after Carrot, nah, anything's possible. Yeah, and OG Flurry, and then also Corvus. Do y'all remember Corvus? Corvus pre-nerf. It actually might be the first time Smog actually nerfs a unit. I don't want to say this because they haven't done it, but I could actually see them nerfing Carrot. Like, no cap. I could see them nerfing Carrot. Taking away one of the passives would be the way I would do it. Right? But I could actually see them because Smog doesn't like when free-to-play units are really strong. They have nerfed all the OP free-to-play units in the past. They have done it, so I wouldn't put it past Smoggy to nerf Carrot. Because if it actually gets to a point that they can't balance her, they don't have to give you a selector for her. Right? She is pretty OP, so she could get it. She could actually get a nerf. She could actually get a nerf from Smoggy. And I could absolutely see that. Do I think it's needed? I don't know. I kind of want to let her run her course a little bit longer. I mean, at least let her till the end of Season 4, right? It's almost, like, we still have 1 month for Season 4. Let her be around for at least till the end of Season 4. And just let her, and then you can see how she is before. But Ross wasn't broken for PvP to the extent that Carrot was. You have to remember that. Carrot was, like, no unit has been as strong as Carrot is that's free to play and been untouched for this long. Right? But I don't know if it's healthy or unhealthy. I don't have my opinion on that. Right? I don't have an opinion. I don't have a formed opinion on whether or not I think she needs to get a nerf. All I know is she is one of the best units in the game. Right? So it is very likely that they will nerf Carrot just because it would follow what Smoggy has done in the past. Although they haven't nerfed in a very long time. So she'd be the first nerfed unit that Smoggy does. But do I think they need to? Do I think they should? I think she still needs a little bit longer. At least. I would want to see her a little bit longer. Yeah. She's really broken though. She's the best RTA unit. She is the best RTA unit. I would put her above Arby. Like, actually. But Flurry got nerfed. She did get nerfed. She used to be way stronger and she did get nerfed. Smoggy doesn't like keeping units that are like super dummy strong that are like the best units in the game. But I would let Carrot be. I would let Carrot be for now. I don't think, at least till the end of Season 4, right? Like, right now, like, we're already used to the Carrot meta. Just let us live in it a little bit longer. Just wait till RTA is done, and then we can talk about it. Stats for a decent Carrot. Let me actually find one. I think we have one. We have a ton in the Discord, so let me find one real quick. But Carrot's disgusting. She's a broken unit. Every time I, like, don't ban her, I'm like, why did I let this unit through? But this is probably the best Carrot that you'll see that we have on the Discord. This Carrot is bonkers, right? The burn does so much, and she's so bulky on this build, right? So this would be what I would consider a really, really good Carrot. Like, this is what I expect. And this guy's a legend level player that uses Carrot in legend. So this is in the Discord, by the way. If you want to find it, it's in the top unit builds in the mage section. And she's right there. So this is what I would expect for a really good Carrot. For a less good Carrot, it'd just be less bulky and less attack, right? So, but this is the standard, I would say. Like, for a really good Carrot. And it could be tankier, it could be less attack. It doesn't have to be that exact build. It could be, you could, like, if you like her tankier, you can just build her tankier. And it works just as fine. But Let me see. But I would let Carrot be. I would let Carrot be. I mean, Finn, we're already at a point where I permaban Carrot. I don't want to see Carrot in any of my matches. A lot of legend level players are banning Carrot. Or they're assuming that the opponent is banning Carrot. Right? Most people do it. Can you do a counter team in a free on equip? Quad counter. If you counter Carrot too hard, you're going to get countered back. But JCS, no, Carrot's been around for a while. And JCS, all right. I will go back to the updates. But I love RTA chats, and I love having difference of opinions, and I love explaining why certain things are the way, like, that's a whole video. This, honestly, I should just make this a video. I need to write this down because it's the Carrot problem. So Carrot has counters. It's not the Carrot problem, it's the Carrot RBC side. These three units fall under a certain category, right? Where it doesn't matter how many counters you have to these units, they will still get picked and they will still dominate the meta. Why? Because they are so strong alone that to counter a single unit, you need at least 2 counters. And if you're picking 2 units to counter 1, you're losing in the draft. Think about it, right? Those 3 units are gonna, I really do think Carrot's gonna fall in that category in the future. Because let me give you a scenario, right? Let's say the opponent gets Carrot and Crawl, right? Which is very, very standard thing to happen. If they get Carrot and Crawl, they take away one of your counters, which is Crawl. And Crawl is not even a hard counter to Carrot. Because what's Crawl going to do if your whole team's already dead, right? It takes too long. Carrot can pop a unit from turn 1. So, not a hard counter, but it still takes away a potential counter. And Carrot. So let's say Carrot's hardest counter is Kise, right? Carrot hard loses to Kise. Like, I'm not even going to lie to y'all. Kise versus Carrot is an absolute winning matchup. It's a stomp. Kise legit nullifies Carrot to a point where Carrot is useless. But what the opponent has the option to do now is pick Assassin Sid or another speed contester, right? That can beat your Kise. So now it becomes something where you are forced to ban Carrot, whereas they are not forced to ban your Kise, right? But then if they ban your Kise and you don't ban their Carrot, then you automatically lose because the Carrot will just stop your team. But yes, Kise destroys Carrot, right? But that's the thing. Then there's the other side. Let's say you overcommit to countering Carrot. Let's say you pick 3. I don't want to do RTA today because I'm going to get too deep. And I don't want to get too deep because it's already midnight for me. But we'll do another stream with RTA this week. But do you see that, like, the problem is not necessarily, like, the unit alone is really strong. But it's the same thing with Arby. Why is Arby still so highly coveted? I could list 5, 8 different units that counter Arbiter Vildred. And there are units that are really good at countering Arbiter Vildred that can, like, are hard counters. Same thing with Seaside. Last Rider Crawl, Rowana, Solitaria. Right? There's all these units that can destroy that ban, right? Like that have a lot of units that can destroy those units. But the problem again becomes it's the draft pressure just from picking 1 unit. You are committing 2 of your picks to counter 1, which lets them respond and means you have less answers to other things in their draft, right? So that's why units like Carrot, units like Arby, units like Seaside are so strong, right? That's why. So it makes a scenario in RTA where it's like really hard position to be in, right? So it makes a situation where the player who picks Carrot has an advantage. Assuming all gear is equal, those units give an advantage over your opponent, right? So that's why those type of units are so powerful. And that's why the team core, right? Honestly, this is a whole video. But that's why the team core is often units that are very safe to go with Carrot that also cover her weaknesses. That's why you see Carrot paired so often with Maid Chloe. That's why you see Carrot paired so often with Crow. Because let's say you do the General Purgus Operator Sigurd combo. Well, let's say you managed to kill Carrot. Well, Maid Chloe just brings her back, right? So that's why you have a very strong team core that makes up for Carrot's weaknesses. Your whole draft, you're overcommitting to countering Carrot, and they still have 2 picks to absolutely counter your draft and you lose, right? So while Carrot does have counters, she does. right? Cleave destroys carrot. I talk to all my cleaver friends, and they're like, carrot's trash, right? Like, we have like 2 or 3 legend level cleavers in the Discord, and they're like, to me, they're like, they accept carrot's broken, but they say, to me, she's fodder, right? They legit say, Maid and carrot are fodder to me because cleavers are really good. That's why cleave is on the come up. I don't know if y'all realize, but cleave players are doing really good this season, and it is because of carrot. Because if you don't cleave and you go bruiser, then you get carroted and you automatically lose essentially. So it's become kind of a rock paper scissors thing, right? So it's a rock paper scissors situation where carrot dumpsters tank and bruisers, cleave dumpsters on carrot, and then tank and bruisers dumpster cleave, right? So it's legit a triangle of countering, right? So do I think she needs a nerf, right? Is that something that I think she needs? I would say right now, no. I think right now, as obnoxious as it is that I have to permaban carrot, I know personally for me, I don't have the counters built to her. So I don't think she needs it right now. Now, by the time season 5 rolls around, if carrot is still as strong as she is now, then we might actually have to talk about nerfs, right? Then we actually might have to start thinking about it, right? And Ferris, yes, that's what people do because they want to actually play the game, so they prevent carrot. That's why I prevent carrot, right? But the thing about it is usually like the standard draft is something like this, right? This is like the most standard draft that you'll see is these 4. And then the last pick will be a support or a counter pick, right? If you bulk up too much, then they put another DPS on this slot like an army. If you decide to cleave, then they can change that slot to something like a G-perk. And they could take off the Landy, right? So this is their team core right here for carrot pickers. So if you pre-ban it, then you just have these 2, which are still really good units. So, but the team core is really flexible. That's the problem. The team core is so flexible. It's not just carrot as a whole, it's the team core. That's a problem. But okay. Enough RTA talk. Let me write that down because that's something that I do want to do. And that is a really good video because it kind of like reveals a lot about Epic 7 because it's not just carrot, right? Some other units fall in this category, like Arby falls in this category, Seaside falls in this category. Like units that force a response, Landy kind of falls in this category. Like there's a lot of units that fall in this category that like they just give you so much draft pressure. And it's mostly these DPSs, right? They just force a response, and the fact that they force a response makes it so if you don't have that response, you have to overcommit or lose your ban. So, which sucks, right? That really sucks when that happens. But okay, enough RTA talk. Let me write it down so I don't forget it. All right, and the other one was okay. All right. So that's my 2 cents on the discussion. Why carrot is good, right? No matter how much counter for SSB and Arbor, they will be a top tier, I think. Yeah, pretty much. I don't think there should be anything to do that. Do you think 2 prevents will solve the carrot issue? Pupper? Absolutely. 2 prevents will just mean carrot gets permabanned, though. That's the problem. How much bulk and speed and effectiveness should F10A have? Hey, Jaden, it depends what you're using her as. So if you're using F10A as your opener for cleave, she needs to be really fast. If you're using her for control purposes, she needs to be like 240 to 260 speed is standard for an effectiveness one. For a cleave one, it has to be like 280 plus or 270 plus to be good. As far as bulk, usually the standard is like 12k HP and like 1.3k defense. It's very standard like tank mage stats. So, but yeah, cleave is pretty big right now. But yeah. Yeah, once you play more, you'll learn a lot more, right? The more you play, you learn a lot, right? It takes a while. Don't be intimidated. But yeah, I hate Catalyst too. That's universal. All my homies hate Catalyst. All the homies hate Catalyst. But okay. So we talked about these 3, right? Then we have the expected, right? So these are things that almost always come out. Not the collab. But the new ML5. We'll find out who it is. SSB should either be coming this month or in August, Moonlight. We don't know yet. It's either the collab coming first or summer coming first. So it depends. I hate Catalyst. That does get me heated. But yeah, she should be coming soon, within the next 2 months for Seaside. The new ML 5-star, I'm like 90% sure this will be ML Charles, right? It's pretty much going to be ML Charles. They could try to throw a random one in there, like something like ML Lilius. Could be ML Kron. They did tease ML Kron. But it could be Strasse. But again, with Strasse, I think they will wait the 2 months that it takes for the next one to come. And they'll wait for the anniversary, right? I really do think they're going to wait for the anniversary to do Strasse. So I don't think this will be Strasse. I could be wrong. They could decide to do Strasse. But most likely it's going to be ML Charles. That would be my guess. Strasse, if they're really behind, it could be Strasse because Strasse already has all the character models. They would only have to code. They already have all the animations for Strasse for the most part because of the boss fight. So the only thing they would need to add for Strasse is ratios and stuff like that, right? And like change some of the wording on the skills. So Strasse is very likely. ML Charles was pretty far in production too. We actually saw the pictures of it. They could always throw a random one, but it's most likely one of those two. But yeah, I could see Strasse later on. Not right now. I do think this is gonna be ML Charles. That would be my guess. Hey Ferris, appreciate it, man. Thanks for joining. But alright, so that's for the collab info. I got this question a lot on the previous video, but when's the end of World Arena Season 4? It's 12-week seasons. It's been like that for all the other ones, and it should be July 8th. I appreciate it, man. But yeah, so July 8th. So this should be when it happens. So I get this question a lot, and again, Epic 7 E7 leaks, man. They always got you with the spice. So it should be on this date. So it should be very, very soon. ML Mort could be ML Mort, but I doubt it. It's for Control F Tenet. Effectiveness 150 plus minimum. People are going for 200 effectiveness right now. For I Hate Jaden, they're going for 200 effectiveness, 250 speed. And they're just using her to counter, like, so she essentially loses almost all her counters that way. But ML Charles is the most likely. New 4-star units for episode 3. When? I know, dude. When are we getting the 4-star units? Brenus, I think, will be a 4-star unit. A lot of those, like, people in the nations, like the merchants, I could see them becoming playable characters, too. Because there are, on some of those characters, is gorgeous. Right? On some of those merchants, they actually look gorgeous. Like, their models look amazing. I could really see the merchants from the episode 3 becoming playable heroes. Cream could maybe go in as a hero. I doubt it though. But Brenus could be a 4-star. I mean, 4-stars aren't really like special either. And she can't be a 3-star because she has an ultimate animation. The commander. Oh yeah, Laika. Laika could be a 4-star as well. Let's see. Who could be a 4-star that I could also... They'll probably add 3 4-stars, right? That's what they did last episode. They added 3 4-stars. They added Furious. They added Kawana. And they added Kawasu. So I could see them do Laika, Brenus, and then some other random 4-star. But yeah, Belian will probably be ML Polides. Pretty sure. How are we doing in Guild Wars? Don't forget to attack. Yeah, I did my attacks at the beginning. We're doing pretty good. Assuming that they int, we should be okay. We're doing good. I think we're doing really good, Moises. I think we're doing really good. Let's see. We were like... It's going to be a tight fight, though. They have the advantage in that if they don't lose any fights, they win. Let's see. Ooh, they're getting really close. And we only have 1 attack left. We need to pull that gap further. So let's see. Assuming that they win all their fights... How many points would they get? 2,160. And this is like best-ish scenario for them. Oh, we're chilling. I think we automatically win. I don't think they can come back. They lost too many. Yeah, I think we just win. Even if they win all of them, even if you throw in like the tower bonuses, like the extra like 300, 400, that's not going to be enough. So, we pretty much won this one. Nice. So, we're guaranteed top 100 this season. Nice. 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 Good job, Guild. We're guaranteed top 100 this season. No stress on the last day like we had last time. That was so tilting. But we should be guaranteed top 100. Because we're 1 loss away right now. We'd be 2 losses away, and there's only 2 days left. Yeah, we're chilling. We're super chilling. Summary about this topic. Wait, hold up. Let me go back. I'll summarize some of the topics near the end as well. So, okay. This is still in a very long time. So, this is in a very long time for the next exclusive equipment. And then there's some other stuff. This is the stuff that they talked about in the big stream. We talked about it here. These are the MOs that are expected. The summer side story should be soon. Episode 3 should be... And they do it every month. They do an episode. Emma Kawasu, I don't have him, but from what I've heard, Richard, is that he's actually a pretty good unit. From what I've heard, what people really like about him is you can pop tanks with him, assuming that they have AoE, so he's a really good counter pick from what I've heard. And he's really good for Arena. They say that Arena is the best one because you just insta-shot tanks, right? Same thing with Guild Wars. You just insta-pop units. So, it's pretty cool. Advent side story. This is the new side story mode that they talked about. Ottoman Tower, level 5. That's going to be kind of fun. Hopefully, it's a little bit more challenging than it is right now. This is the new Guild PvE. Oh, it's coming Q3 too? Wow. So, we're getting big PvE update between August and between July and September. We're getting huge PvE updates. That's huge. That's tremendous, actually. Expedition level 4, still in a while. Light Expedition, still in a really long time. That's like end of the year stuff. This is all end of the year stuff. And this is what they said was happening end of June, right? So if they don't announce it this week, then we're not getting a collab next week, right? So if no collab news tomorrow, we're just not getting a collab next week. And we just have to accept that. But yeah, that's the year in review. Not bad. So that's it for the updates. I don't think we're going to get to do story time, because we're already pretty deep, and I still have to make tonight's video, which is going to be how to counter that Guild Wars defense that people still seem to lose to a lot. So hopefully we'll be able to do a good video on that, do good justice on it, show that that defense is free and you should never lose to it. And it's such a free defense. It's just like, just kill it, you know? So yeah, that's it. So as far as summary for everything, Link King, I'm late. So this is Epic 7 leaks. Let me link them to you. They're also all in the description of the streams. But alright, to summarize everything, thank you, Ferris. But summarize everything that we've talked about today. Collab hype kind of died off. There's a chance that they're doing summer before they do the collab, potentially for internal talks. Although they haven't really said anything, it's just kind of speculation from what they did with the Stove announcement showing the summer event and them hinting a lot of summer stuff that we could really be getting the summer event before we get the collab, and the collab gets pushed back for reasons that we may not know. The other thing is that we are getting the buffs to the equipment sets. No idea what they're going to buff, but they need to be really big buffs to make the set worth it. The specialty change hopefully is going to be a cool unit. There's a lot of good ones. Most likely going to be a Banshee Sister, since that seems what they're going for. But it would be really cool if they didn't do a Banshee Sister and they did another like potential PvP viable unit. And then, of course, collab info. Some of the other stuff we talked about was End World Arena Season. And we also talked about kind of the new stuff that's coming. And another big discussion was also on Carrot. Why Carrot is so good. That will most likely be a video in the future summarizing kind of the thoughts about Carrot, because it's not just that she's busted and that, yes, she has counters, but there's a lot of other questions that she brings up, right? She kind of brings the Carrot effect. And I'm going to call it the Carrot effect, although it's not actually her effect. It's actually the Arbiter Builder effect, where there are units that are so powerful that even if you release counters to them that absolutely completely shut out that unit, they're still usually not enough because it requires so much draft picks to counter that it still gives the player picking them an advantage over the opponent. Patch stream should be tomorrow night. So tomorrow night is basically Wednesday, because they start streaming at like 2 a.m. or something crazy like that. I don't know why they stream so late. I'm never able to stay up for those. For me, it's like 2, 3 a.m. If you live like in a different area, it's probably earlier. But for me, it's way too late, so I'm never able to stay up. It's like 4 a.m. on a Wednesday. So I don't know what... I consider that Tuesday night, but because I'm sleeping and that's like nighttime for me. But you could call it Wednesday morning, depending what your time zone is. But yeah, so we talked about different stuff, like the Carrot effect, why she's so strong right now. And then the other question that it brings up is nerfing. Should Smilegate nerf her? Should Smilegate nerf units, period? Right? What should they do? So There are a lot of stuff that brings up with Carrot being the strong, but this always happens. I mean, last time we had F10 be pretty high up there as well. Which I would almost say F10 was also here back when she was at her peak. She was pretty high up, and it just took a while for people to really get used to her, but she was still broken. I mean, she's still dummy good. So it's kind of one of those effects that end up happening whenever they release a really strong unit. I was almost like this for G-Perk too. It's just Carrot feels particularly bad. I don't think, if you want my opinion on it, I think I made up my mind. I don't think Carrot needs a buff. Because looking back at it, there's been a lot of units that are like always kind of almost up here. Honestly, I think F10 was one of the only ones that was here originally. Like, she's the one unit that I could say she was up here. But, I mean, Carrot is a free-to-play hero. Everyone has access to her. She's only been out for a month. Let her at least run the course of Season 4. Really see where she can really take the meta. Because I do like that we're seeing more Kisa and we're seeing more. And the fights are faster because of her, right? We're seeing a lot quicker matches. We're seeing Cleave have a resurgence because of Carrot. There's a lot of cool stuff coming out of Carrot being meta. So let her run her course. Let her see if someone can dethrone her or if she'll just stay a really good option. And then with the new unit, all the new units coming out, she'll probably get dethroned, right? We are getting, what, 4 limited units in the next 3 months before the next season. There's going to be like 4 new limited units. At least one of those limited units is going to dethrone Carrot, right? So there for sure will be something that will counter her, right? It's always like that. It's a gacha game. There's always going to be something that displaces this. She'll still always be a good unit just because she has that inherent strength to her, and it takes a very long time for units like that to go longer. But yeah, I appreciate it, man. I was about to end stream too. So with that, we didn't get to the story time. I know for all my story people that are waiting for me to do a story time one of these days, a story stream will come one day. It'll be fun. Although I know there's not going to be that many people. There will be a good number of people that we can discuss story and cool stuff like that. But it will probably turn into an RTA discussion, which is one of the reasons that I don't make it on its own, because I get too carried away when I answer questions. But that is all I got for you guys today. I hope y'all enjoyed today. I hope y'all are hyped for the news for the collab. Should be good. Hoping tomorrow. Hoping. Fingers crossed. I should be streaming again tomorrow as well. Tomorrow, maybe we'll do RTA. I haven't decided what I'm doing tomorrow, actually. Probably RTA. We'll probably do RTA tomorrow. But story time should be coming soon. I know I keep saying soon, but it's just I haven't had a week where I don't have something going on. And summer has been really busy for me, which is why I haven't been streaming as often. But hopefully, next time we talk, maybe they tease a little bit, right? In that pre-stream notice, they like to tease stuff. Hopefully, they tease something there. And when we talk tomorrow, we can be hype about it. But outside of that, we will talk about the updates on Thursday. So we should be on tomorrow. There's a chance I won't be, but most likely I'll be on tomorrow to stream. But that's all I got for you guys today. Hopefully I'll have a good time. Quick update on me. So as y'all know, Epic 7 has kind of taken a little bit of a back burner. I'm not climbing to Legend this season. I'm not pushing for Legend this season. Mainly because I don't like the meta too much, and I don't want to waste as much time as I did last season. Because last season, I tried a lot harder, and I got really, really close. I got within, like, top 300. And it was really tilting and a lot of time spent. So it's something that I didn't want to do this season, especially because there's no rewards for doing RTA. So I'm not doing it offline that much. I only do it to not decade now. But I don't see myself pushing for Legend. I don't like the meta too much myself, personally. So I've been taking a back burner, playing other games, been chilling, trying Guilty Gear, been playing a ton of Runeterra. And just having fun, you know. We may do some other videos. That's a question I was gonna ask you guys later on. Is what other games y'all like to play? If y'all would like to see me play other games, but I realized I should just play the game and see how many turn up. And yes, Ferris, I love Runeterra. I made it to Masters this season, and I was a dummy. I went on vacation last weekend, and I didn't make the cutoff by like 100 people for the tournament. So it was super sad that all that work I put to get Master super early on didn't pay off because I was a dummy and I played around too much. I was guaranteed it because I was at 200 LP. I should just stayed there. But then I was trying fun decks and I dropped all the way down to 0 and I didn't climb back because I was in break. So I didn't make the big Runeterra tournament. It made me super sad that I didn't make it. So yeah, I'm excited for the expansion too. Echo's coming. Oh, it's going to be hype. But yeah, that won't be for a while. I still love Epic 7. It's just kind of like, there hasn't been a lot of updates for Epic 7 recently, right? It's been kind of slow. The meta's kind of stale now. It's pretty figured out, but I know once the collab kicks in, I know the hype will come back, right? We have a lot of really good stuff coming, and it always happens. I always take like 2 to 3 months to like not play Epic 7 too much, and that just revigorates. Is that the word I'm looking for? To want to play a little bit more. But yeah, that's all. That was a quick update for you guys. But yeah, now I'll officially be ending the stream. I will see you next time. Peace.